The where we're standing right here, you can see there's that grove of American beech. There's a pine. Any pines that were here, we tried to, shelter them. There's one pine there. We introduced a lot of pine. This is a natural pine that was growing out of the base of this tree. So this was literally 6 inches tall 20 years ago. Now it's 25 feet tall. It's just a white pine. Here's another one of our fire pits out here. This is the actual site that the main house was supposed to go. We were gonna put a house with a garage wing over here. Plans changed, so we converted. That was actually our barn. That was our carriage house barn. You can see there's 3 garage doors on the back of it overlooking the pond. And we ended up converting that to the house and moving into it for a bunch of different reasons I won't get into, mainly financial reasons. But we actually had an architect design a house that was gonna be right here on the edge of the woodland, overlooking 2 big ponds, because that's a wetland back there, and there's an actual natural pond that's kind of filled in. But we're gonna landscape this like we did the front. That probably won't happen in my lifetime. I think I'm at 56 years old. I've done all I can do here. I just want to maintain the 25 acres that I've done landscaped. There's another 27 acres out back there. Maybe Junior or his kids, or Taylor or his kids will do something out there. But I'm pretty much overwhelmed with the museum project and everything else. This is a really cool story. We had a lot of fires up here, and I got in a little bit of trouble with the fire department because it came up a bunch of times. We were burning brush and a lot of brush, so I bought a diesel chipper that you could put a 12-inch tree through, because we couldn't. Here's some of the dirt that we just bought out for the track. I chipped. See this? See this? Hold this for a second, so they can get a scope of the size of it. Look at the size of this American beech right here and how bushy it is. This was a 7 or 8 feet tall by 25 foot wide chip pile. I was chipping over here, and I left the chips there and moved on to the next project. And about 3 years later, the chip pile would steam, and it was like decaying underneath it, and it was slowly getting smaller. So it went from like this high to this high to this high to about that high, and then this thing popped out of the middle of it. One little tree starts growing out of the middle of the pile, and I was like, well, I wonder what it is. Well, it turned out it was an American beech tree, probably a seed from one of these over here. And look at it. This is you can see there's a little mound underneath there. That was a giant chip pile, and this grew out of it. So it's kind of rewarding seeing those kind of things happen. We have a roadway here that goes out all the way to the back of the property, and some trails out there where you can literally get lost. Here's some more of the mountain laurel. This pile here or bush needs to be trimmed up. It's getting taken over by the beeches. So yeah, the track will be restored this year. We will be doing some riding out here. I'll have that Junior hook us up with a helmet cam so you can get an idea of what it's like. Here's the other stone wall on the far end of the property. When we cleared the property, we just piled all the stones on towards the edge of the property, and we built this stone wall. It's a little bit overgrown right now, and I had my buddy Kurt out here yesterday. There's another beautiful beech tree. Look at that one. Look at the size of these oaks, man. This thing's freaking massive. One of the biggest ones you're gonna see around here. It's got to be 150 feet tall. Anyways, this stone wall, we're gonna clean up along the stone wall. Just leave the ferns. Any of these bushes, trees that are growing over the edge, we're gonna trim those down. This is a massive tree that fell down on top of the stone wall. I called my buddy Kurt. I said, hey, I got a widowmaker here, man. Can you take care of it? He's an expert woodsman from Maine. So he came up same day and chopped this down as a favor for me. So we can handle it from here, but I'll use the grapple on the Bobcat, and we'll grab these and put these in the firewood or the burn pile. You can see the tree was rotted in the middle, and the other end's gonna have to come down too at some point. But this was the actual house lot. The landscape architect was correct. It's 20 degrees cooler out here than it is in the field, and you have the natural protection from the trees, from the wind and whatnot. So we did some interesting stuff with the stone wall here. We kind of had a little bump out that sort of fell apart right here that went around it. It looked nice when we first put it up. This side is still good, but that side fell down after 20 years. There's a certain amount of maintenance with this kind of thing. You can see there's another bump out. That one's still intact. We haven't done leaf pickup here in like 8 years, and I'm going to use the Bobcat here this weekend, and I'm going to scoop up all these leaves We have a leaf pile out back, a compost pile on the other side. There's another American beech. Here, hold this. I'll give these guys. This is what the beauty of the beech trees are. When you're underneath it, you can be underneath this tree in a rainstorm and literally stay dry. The amount of wildlife, the birds really love these trees and the animals and everything. It's just they're beautiful, and there's kind of a rare tree around here, and there's a grove of 3 of them right there that I've been maintaining for like 20 years. So I've done my best to protect these as we develop the property, protect the ironwood, the American beech, the pines, and trim the oaks. I had one of Christy's friends has a bucket truck, and I think he charged me $1,100 for a half a day. He came out here and we trimmed a lot of the tree tops and trimmed these up so they look good. So here's another grove where we developed, where you've got mountain laurel, pine, and some nice looking natural flowers and stuff growing. There's a mountain laurel all by its own right there, flowering at the edge of the field. It's a lot of maintenance.
I don't know how far you like to get pushed back on this row here. There's the stone wall is all behind that, right?
Yeah, you really can't get much closer than we are right now because it's like a rubble wall. That wall was never finished. But here's another view of my Fred Flintstone table over here. When we have parties out here, this is where everybody hangs out. And the fire pit's right there, and you got your big Fred Flintstone table. And of course, swimming in the pond is awesome. In the summer, it's super nice, spring fed. Here's the beech. Beech is got some ferns growing on it, a little overgrown.
Out of here, the big honker. Yeah, we'll get another coat of
These are the lifeguard. These are actually some of the boards from trees that we cut down. We made a little bridge out to the lifeguard platforms. And the way you get up the rock tower right here is right here on the side. You just climb up and jump in. Diving boards, the kids, like 6 of the kids were on a diving board, and it has a 300-pound limit, and they broke both of them, unfortunately, sadly. So we're gonna get the part numbers off the boards over here in the bushes and order new ones today, and give them a stern warning not to do that again because they're expensive. They're like, I think it's like over $1,000 for a diving board. It's been a while since I bought them. So the solar panel is kind of deceptive. Looking at it, it doesn't look that big, but it is. It's freaking huge. In fact, this was the largest one that Sun Tracker, the company who built it, had ever installed. Can you hold this for a second? I want to give them another perspective. Just to give you an idea, this is GMI Solar. My friend Glenn, GMI stands for Glenn Martin Incorporated. You can see how massive this pole is. It's literally, I can barely wrap my arms around it. It's huge, and it's really well built. They call it a sun tracker because it starts its morning facing due east, and in the evening it spins with the sun. Right now it's morning time, so the sun's right there. It spins that way until the sun sets in the west, and during different seasons you get it's a lot more efficient than just a panel facing due south, because you pick up the east and west exposure 100%, and then it goes flat at night. Every night it goes flat, and it also has a speedometer tipping it up on the top there that's spinning. If the wind goes over 30 miles an hour, it goes into storm mode and it goes flat. So that's how that works. And you can kind of see these gently rolling hills here. These are a hoot to ride the XR 250 over, or the CR 500. You can hit those 4th gear tap and jump off of them. I try not to tear it up too much. I try to roll over it and not roost so that the grass stays there and keep the place looking nice, and just makes it easier to maintain. Back in the day when we had the motocross school here, of course it was a full 3/4 mile natural terrain track, and of course the supercross track out front, and the kids would stay here all day. The parents would drop them off in the morning. Each parent would kick in $100 each for the instructor for the week, and it was a pretty cool thing to do. These are the diving boards over here in the bushes. We'll get the part numbers off of those so we can order a new set and maybe measure them up. And the kids better not break these ones. It's just a beautiful piece of property, and I've got a tremendous, a lifetime of effort and my life savings dumped into this place, and I hope the kids appreciate it. You know, they don't come here as often because they're growing up doing their own things, and sometimes I wonder, should I sell it? Because Christy and I live here by ourselves, and we're going to be heading to Florida for a few months every winter, setting up a shop down in the Orlando area to purchase motorcycles and get us out of the cold. But so is it really worth having this massive property? And you know, I hope that, you know, maybe I'll have grandkids, and then I can hang out here with the grandkids in the summer, because I have 2 daughters and a son. So there's a good chance we'll have a bunch of grandkids, and maybe the place will come alive again. You can hear it moving. You hear that? It actually move. If you watch it, it's actually moving slowly all day long. But you see it? So yeah, and I had a lot of plans that I didn't finish here. Like, I'd like to build a big barn to put equipment in, but I kind of ran out of money and time, and just started focusing on the museum project. Has really sucked every ounce of energy and money I've had for the last 10 years has gone into the new bike shop and the museum and all the tools and equipment and everything we had to do to get that place dialed in. But these I'd like to have like a pool house on top of this one, and a pool house on top of the other one, with a diving board sticking out the front of it, and maybe a jumping platform off the top so you can jump off the top. Then I want to put a gazebo over there where the picnic table is. So, but that may or may not happen. At the very least, I got to put new diving boards in, and hopefully the kids, you know, will come back someday. You know, they lived here with me, grew up here, and now they're gone. You know, they're off doing their own thing. I see Kenny every day, man, but and Taylor travels. I ran power down here. I've got 2 RV plugs, so some of my friends that come with RVs, they can plug in right here and camp right next to the water, either on this side or on the other side, to have a waterfront camping spot. And I got another RV outlet on the house that my camper is plugged into. So you can see this is all interlocking concrete pavers here. And as I mentioned when I started the first video, there's a lot of design work here that went into this. And this was a 3-year project. 4 years on the wall out front, 3 years on this, and 10 years on and off building the stone walls. This pond project, I took 6 months off of work. That's how long it took me to build the pond, which sounds like a lot until you realize it's 15 feet deep in an acre. Try digging a 15-foot deep acre hole with your own equipment. It was humbling. I fell asleep at the wheel of the Bobcat and the John Deere dozer many times. So I would just work until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, around the clock getting it done, but I love doing it. So thank you for watching. If you've been with us all along, our tour of this year's tour of the compound, we will be finishing the track out back and be doing some riding here, so stay tuned for that. Heading down to the shop, it's 9:30. Did a nice walk around, got a project plan here to get the place styled and dialed. Got a CR500 in the back of the truck here. I got from my friend Jeff Graham last night. Went over his house. We've known him since we were kids. And I got a DT250 that he wants us to restore. I don't take new clients right now because we're backed up so much. But this he had knee replacement and he's in his 60s, so he said I'm done with the 500. So I got the 500 from him. He says restore this 250. I can handle starting this. So I'm probably gonna do a frame up on this for him. So that'll be kind of cool. We'll document that whole thing as it gets done. We had some big parties here. If you've seen the 500 shootout videos, this is such a big property. You could have 500,000 people here. You could have a concert here. My buddy Larry would always park his 5th wheel over here on this spot. This is Larry's spot overlooking the pond. And of course I got the hookups to the RVs. So just a beautiful piece of property that I built for my friends and family to enjoy. Hope you enjoyed the tour of it. And stay tuned. I got some killer bikes coming your way. Thanks for watching. So I guess I kind of got it made, living here in the motorcycle museum and the compound, and I'm here to tell you guys, set your goals high, have a dream, find something you're super passionate about that you're willing to work round the clock like I do on these projects, and go for it, man. the universe will answer your dreams and visions if you're committed and you're willing to do the work. It ain't gonna be easy, but it's worth it if you're willing to do it. But I love what I do, and really excited. Gonna go down and film 7 kick-ass bikes with Junior today for you guys to check out. So thanks for watching. Heading down to the museum, saying goodbye to the compound. Maybe someday I'll be here with grandkids. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll end up selling the place. I don't know. But it's been a pretty cool adventure for the last 20 years. Thanks for watching. God bless America.